Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Alright, I have a review for you guys. I will be doing a review over Charm the Complete Series, the Book of Shadows version of it, which is this. I got this about 4 or 5 months ago, before I moved here back to Oklahoma, and it came in this box. This is what it came in. Oh, the only thing it had is it had plastic around it, but I keep it in this box for safekeeping. And this is what the back looks like. So I'm gonna read it to you guys. The Supernatural Saga begins. Now you can enjoy all 173 episodes of this exciting, critically acclaimed series in this 94, I'm sorry, 49 disc DVD collection. Charm the Complete series contains all 8 seasons of suspenseful drama, crafty humor, and spellbinding effects, plus brand new special features. Experience the power of 3 with the Charmed Ones as they face challenging romances, formidable enemies, and tragic twists of fate. Meet the beautiful and bewitching Hallowell sisters, the vulnerable Prue, who can magically move objects, the shy Piper, who is able to freeze time, and the uninhibited Phoebe, who can see the future. These modern-day witches are strong individually, but it's only when they put aside their differences and band together as the Charmed Ones that they can summon the power of 3 to vanquish evil and protect the innocent. Charmed will hold you spellbound as you journey inside a mystical world of time travel, fantasy, and paranormal action. Experience the siblings' exciting discovery of their magical half-sister Paige, plus all the thrills and gripping suspense as they go head-to-head against demons, warlocks, and sometimes even each other. With each climatic season finale, the Charmed Ones face their biggest challenges in love, life, and death, and the final episode's ultimate showdown will leave you breathless. Yes, and over here it says, the magic will captivate you. And all these pictures, if I can get it, we've got Prue, Leo, Phoebe, Piper, Prue, Paige, Phoebe, Leo, Phoebe, Paige, one of Billy, and then the last one of Piper. Sorry, it's kind of hard to see this. Now, I actually really like this because it looks like the Book of Shadows, and I love the Book of Shadows. It even has the little things. I keep them inside because I don't like them. Now, if I had like a podium where where eventually I want to do is I want to buy a bookcase, bookshelf, whatever. And what I'm gonna do is beside it, I'm gonna actually buy a podium where this will go on as, you know, my favorite complete series that I own. Really, really the only complete series that I own. There's several others I really want to get. Gilmore Girls, Buffy, Angel. Um, what I've been looking for years. For years, they actually came out with a limited deluxe edition where this is bigger. Now, there's not saying that the pages are bigger. Well, in a way they are, but there's not more added to it. The content of everything that's inside are still the same. The pages are pretty much the same. It's actually bigger. It's actually the size of the real Book of Shadows that they actually use on the show. And I wanted it, but at the time when I did find it, like 5 years ago, they wanted like $300 for it. I didn't have that much. As it is, I spent about $100 on this. When I got this about 5 months ago, I spent $100 on this. and it was worth it. It is worth it because this is the second time I bought this. The first time I bought this through eBay. I bought it brand new, but yet it had all kinds of problems with it. There were several discs in season 7 that could not play. And it made me mad because they were the Avatar episodes, and those were my favorite episodes to watch. I'm going to end up moving my camera so you guys can actually see it, so you won't see me, but you'll see the book. Alrighty. Here it is. Charmed, the complete series. And all this information down here. Book of Shadows, 1963, and then it shows the DVD collection. Because now, this also has the real Book of Shadows pages. Hand fasting. And then to call the Hello Matriarchs. Of course, they have it so wrong, because it says here, I call forth from space and time matriarchs from the Hallowell line. And then it's supposed to be mothers, daughters, sisters, friends, our family spirit without end. That is what it's supposed to be. However, they just have the truth spell written in here. For those who want the truth revealed, open hearts and secrets unsealed, from now until it's now again, after which the memory ends. That's a spell I wish was actually in here, the truth spell. And there's a Punyip, which I don't ever think was ever mentioned in the show, ever. I think it was just something they of course, here's season 1, and the pages are actually not thin. They have a nice thickness to them. These look the same in the bigger one. This right here, where the discs are, this is what is so different in the bigger one. Because in the bigger one, they are in styrofoam things you press in, and then you just it pops out. And on each page there are. It comes with each season is two pages, and I believe it's 3 discs on each page, I believe. Sorry about that. I had to fix the camera. 3 and 4, 5 and 6. Here's the Banshee page. Maybe if I'm not used to you holding this like this, sorry. But to track a Banshee, spell Prue, of course, the Lazarus demon from season 4. Season 2. Oh, I just love this. I love it so very much. It's so beautiful. The page with the discs are actually quite thick. The Exorcism spell, which was never used on Charmed. The Dark Knight from season 6? Pretty sure it was 6. Yeah, it was 6. Gremlins from season 6. Season 3. Prue's last and sadly final season. You know, I always wanted them to bring Prue back in like the season finale, you know, the Power of 4 or something like that. But that never happened, sadly. Firestarter. I know they brought her back in the comics in the young witch named Patience. So that's cool. To hear secret thoughts spell, and of course the brute demon, also from season 6. I notice they have a lot of pages from season 6 in here. Of course, there's season 4, Paige's first season. You know, I think it was interesting. Honestly, to be honest with you, and after watching the show so many times, it doesn't make sense for them to so easily trade play for Prue because the prophecy of the Charmed Ones, it was never okay. Paige was never meant to take Prue's place in the Power of Three. My Here is my theory. My theory is they should have worked harder. That two-parter episode, it should have been a couple of episodes into the season where maybe the elders or even with the Charmed Ones alter the prophecy of the Charmed Ones to include Paige into the Power of Three. But no, they just automatically bring her in and they don't do any background anything about that, and it feels like that is a giant hole gap in the show, and it really bothers me a lot. Alchemist tools. More about Alchemist demons. Season 5. I do like Paige because, for one, I love hybrids, and since Paige is one, she's half witch and half white lighter. Honestly, I am still to this day very extremely disappointed that Paige never got another power. Through the entire show, telekinetic orbing was her power. That it's because it technically is a hybrid power of, of course, orbing and telekinesis. But she never got a third power. I mean, she gets an orb shield in the comics, which is technically, according to the writers, a advanced form of telekinetic orbing. Of course, Wyatt also has an orb shield as well, but still, I was still so disappointed that she never really got another power, another witch power. She got white letter powers throughout the show. She got healing, of course, eventually in season 8, which kind of irritates me. It kind of irritates me that they waited to finally give her her healing power until the last freaking season. The demonic bounty hunter. The crone. To call a lost witch. Here's season 6. Balthazar, of course. Season 4. To summon Balthazar and the vanquishing potion spell. And here's season 7. Curzon. Don't know who that is. This was longer. In the full length one, they have this because this is actually a 2-page, and they don't have both pages in here, which really irritates me. And here's the 8th and final season, of course. But also I also like the individual seasons because the covers are so beautiful, and every country is different. I like the fact that each season is a different color. I like how the last season kind of has this gold look to it. And this is pretty much it. Here's the stuff about the bonus disc, and here's the actual bonus disc. And that's it. Ugh. Okay, my hand is like falling asleep on me right now, so I have to put you guys back up here. Okay, sorry, that took a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be. I am still going to look for the big one, because as soon as I get the big one, I'll be giving this to my brother as like a birthday present, Christmas present, something like that. Back in its little box. Alright, now I'm going to talk a little bit about the show, what I like, what I didn't like, stuff like that. Like I said about season 4, I do think that they should have explored it a little bit more about bringing Paige into the prophecy, because it doesn't make so sense for them to just automatically take Prue's place. Not to mention, Paige must have been born with the power of the witch power of telekinesis. Because as one knows, when a witch is born, that is whatever power they are born with, that's their power. Which means that Paige must have been born with that power. Because, of course, the only reason why Paige got into it is because Shannen Doherty either quit or got fired, whichever one, because of drama with Alyssa Milano. Honestly, and as much as I've seen this show dozens and dozens of times, and honestly, what I think is that they should have recast Prue. Because I mean, I still think it would be an interesting idea to still bring Paige into it, because I think that would add more. I think it would make the show more interesting and bring more depth to the show. Like, change the prophecy of the Charmed Ones to include Paige, but while still Prue being in it, and changing the power of 3 to the power of 4, and making it where the power of 4 is stronger and more powerful than the power of 3. And I think that would be, honestly, I think that would make the show a lot more interesting, I have to say. And this is my theory, of course. Since Prue died in season 3, Prue never got another power. Of course, in the comics, she has more of that power than that, and that's only because she's the caretaker of the Nexus of the All. And she has reality warping and holograms, and I think she can hover as well. My theory on what her third power would be is well, she has telekinesis, she has astral projection, and my theory on what her third power would be cloning, because that makes the most sense. Because Prue describes, well, she can move things with her mind, why not her body? And that was her kind of explaining her why she got astral projection. Now, Ames, he was a warlock. He stole a witch's power of cloning. And to me, pretty much, okay, astral projection alone in itself is basically there being two of you. So I think cloning would pretty much just be an advancement of her astral projection power. That would make a whole lot more sense. And I do think if Prue never died, that in season 4, her powers would have, she would advance, her powers would advance to the point where Prue would be able to use her powers in her astral mode. But technically speaking, if Paige was brought into the power of 3, or essentially the power of 4, her power could not be telekinesis based. It would have to be a different power. Now, for me, if I could pick any power to give Paige, I think the power of projection, the same power Billy has, I think that would be a very interesting power to give Paige. I don't know. You guys comment below. If Prue never died and Paige was brought in and the prophecy was changed, so there would be 4 Charmed Ones instead of the normal 3, what would Paige's active power be? Also, let's be honest, I was so glad that Phoebe was finally given an active power in season 6, because she had premonition for all of season 1 and 2, and the first episode of season 3, first episode of season 3, she received the power of levitation. Which, I kind of felt like, I don't know. It seems like their powers are tied to one another, especially Piper's. None of the Charmed One's powers are more linked to each one as more like an advancement or someone like it, like with Piper's powers. Because Piper can freeze things, and which is basically slowing down the molecules. Her exploding power is basically speeding them up. And then, of course, in the comics, because at the same time, all three of the Charmed Ones received another power. Paige received an orb shield. Piper receives a third power, which is, I forget what it's actually called, monocular A something, which basically it's basically an advancement of her exploding power. It basically heats things up to the point where they melt or catch fire. So I mean, it's really hard to describe it because it's really hard to look at the comics and try to describe what happens in the comics. Where if there was a show, it would be so much easier to kind of explain things. Where you can actually, in the show, you could see the visual effects of one of their powers, and you could easily see, okay, so that's how the power works. But you don't really get that because it's a comics. And oh, that's right, Phoebe's third power is called Psychic Reflection. It is an advancement of her empathy power. It's basically turning someone's own emotions against them. It basically forces them to feel those emotions until it kills them. It is also, true fans, hardcore fans, that is the same power Phoebe used back in season 2 in the episode Mortality Bites, where she has that vision of her future self, and she kills Cal Green. That is the power she uses. Not to mention, it foreshadows her future power, because if you notice, while she's killing Cal Green with that power, you see her levitating, which, as fans know, is them foreshadowing the power that they actually give her in the first episode of season 3. And of course, as we all know, Phoebe receives her empath power in season 6. Phoebe is the only charmed one to actually receive 3 powers in the show. 3 witch powers. I'm not including Paige because a lot of the powers Paige has comes from her White Lighter half. So, yeah. Also, there is also in the comics, there's a hybrid that I have been wanting them to create for so long, and that is a hybrid that is a half witch and half warlock hybrid. Then again, because I figured that you'd have witch powers and warlock powers, and it would be like a witch who has the power to blink. Unfortunately, the one something I think his name is Knox Montgomery, if memory serves me correctly. However, he does not have the ability to blink. In fact, he has the same powers that he has the exact same powers that Christy have, and that is telepathy and pyrokinesis. It's a fire ability. It's not a fire starter exactly. Some ability with fire. I don't know. Now, my theory is that his fire ability came from his warlock half, and his telepathy came from his witch half. That is my personal opinion. However, I don't know. And this video has gotten this is a really long review. I'm sorry, but this is one of my ultimate favorite shows of all time. So it makes me want to just talk about it a lot. So I'm sorry about that. Alright, well, I will be doing a video later with Tasha, maybe. If not, then sorry, but I did upload a video last night, and then of course this video will be uploaded also tonight. So you guys will have 2 new videos from me for this week. I can't. My best friend Jessica will be here around Wednesday, and I will be doing a video with her. Sadly, it will be in the middle of the week where I work, so it'll be really. I don't really like doing videos during the week because I work during the week, and I tend to like to spend most of my time sleeping because I work all night. Speaking of, this is my last night, so I have to go to work tomorrow night, and I'm not really looking forward to it. However, I do get paid Wednesday night, so I have that to look forward to. So I will have quite a bit of money because I don't have to pay any bills with this check, so I can actually be a little bit more lenient and, you know, spend a little bit money on me and stuff like that. So, alright guys, I will see you guys later potentially, or later this week when Jessica is here and we'll be doing a video then. Alright, I will see you guys later. Alright, bye.